Welcome everyone, Miss Angel here from the Bullitt County Public Library Mount Washington branch. And today for our artsy afternoon, we're going to be making a no-sew sock snowman, like the one I have here. These are very easily made. We're going to use simple things you have around the house, like a white sock, and then I'm also going to use a colored sock, or you can use a pattern sock, whatever you would like. Now for our white sock, you can use a large sock or a smaller one, but if you use a large, we're going to take care of it. We also have some rice, some paint. I have orange and black because that's what we're going to need for his eyes, nose, and mouth. We're going to need some rubber bands, paint brushes, some scissors, and then I have some ribbon that we could use to make his scarf with. We're also going to need some buttons for his belly. And then I'm going to use glue dots to attach the buttons. If you can use hot glue, but I wouldn't use like Elmer's glue because it won't hold and it could make a mess. You can also put some essential oils if you want your snowman to have a nice smell in your room. But first what we're going to do is we're going to open up our white sock because we're going to pour the rice in. Now I have about 2.5 cups of rice in my measuring cup here. Now you can use how much of a rice you would like. It's just the size of your snowman. So I'm going to try to hold this open and pour some of the rice in. If you do this by yourself, it can be done. It will take a little bit more time because it's hard to open the sock and pour the rice at the same time. So you could spill a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and try to move this down just a little bit further to see if I can have the opening a little wider while I'm pouring in the rice. Now, if you have a friend nearby or a grown-up, this might be a great time to ask them to give you a little bit of a hand. So that way you can open up the sock really big and you can have a friend help. So I'm going to have Miss Brandy pour some rice in for me while I hold it open, and it makes it so much easier. So I have now about 2 cups, maybe a cup and a half of rice. Now it doesn't matter, like I said, you can make your snowman however big you would like. You can use as much rice. Once you know how big you want your snowman, we're going to go ahead and put a rubber band around the top. That way it doesn't let any of the rice spill out. So we're just going to make this nice and tight so we don't lose any of our rice. And don't worry about the extra sock on top. We'll just take care of that by cutting that right off. That's just if we want a really big snowman, we have that extra room. So once we have that done, we're going to want to shape our snowman to look like a snowman. We're going to want him to have a bottom and a head. So once you kind of have it about the way you think it's going to look, you'll go ahead and grab another rubber band and just go around the top to separate his body from his head so it can form into a snowman. Now doing this, as you can see, sometimes the rice may go down and your head may not look right. So we'll just go ahead and undo this and we're going to remold it. So you don't have to take any of the rice out. We just go ahead and readjust the way we want it to look till we get that perfect snowman. And we're just going to go ahead and put our rubber band around. Once we do that, we'll go ahead and mold him to make him look like a snowman. Then we're going to go ahead and cut our colored sock, our pattern sock, whatever you want to use. We're just going to cut the tip of it off. That way that can be for our hat. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. Once I've cut that off, I like to go ahead and fold it up on the outside. That way it doesn't show that rough edge. So then we can put that right over our snowman. Now we don't have to glue this down. If you don't want to, it will stay on your snowman. And don't worry about the rubber band around the part of his neck because we're getting ready to hide that with a scarf. Now, like I said, for the one that I've already made, I did use some ribbon. But for this one, I'm going to go ahead and use another piece of the sock. That way his scarf and hat match. So you'll just go ahead and cut a line off of this so you can make a scarf from that. And as you can see, my cutting skills aren't the greatest today, but that's okay. If it doesn't look great, I can always cut another piece off. We just wanted to make sure it looks like he has a scarf. So we'll just go ahead and wrap that around and cover up that rubber band. And if you don't like the way that one looks, you can always change it to something different. Next, we're going to add some glue dots to the back of our buttons that I have over here to the side. I have 3 buttons. I'm just going to go ahead and put the buttons right on our glue dots to get those ready for later. You can also put a little piece of our glue dots or hot glue on his scarf if you want it to hold better, or if you think you might want to change it. If you don't think it looks perfect, you can just leave it alone for right now. So I'm just going to finish up adding our glue dots to our buttons. And I'm just going to set those over to the side because next I want to paint on his face. So I have some black acrylic paint. And I chose to use black acrylic paint because it just seems like it's more bold. His eyes and his mouth stand out better. You can use a black Sharpie or black paint pens, whatever you have. So we'll just go ahead and dot on his eyes, and then his mouth will be next, and you can make him look however you want. You can draw his eyes different, you can make dots, whatever you want your snowman to look like. So I think I'm going to give him 5 dots for his little mouth. As you can see, it's starting to come together. Next, we're going to need to give him a nose. And what does a snowman have for a nose? A carrot. So we're going to use some orange. I'm just going to go ahead and dot it on to kind of make it look like a triangle or give it that carrot look. Then next we're going to go ahead and take our glue dot backs off and add our buttons to his belly. So we'll just stick those right on. And I'm going to use 3 buttons. You can use sequences, you can use beads, whatever you like, or you could draw them on. Next, I'm going to go ahead and straighten up his scarf a little bit. And now you can see I have 2 snowmen. I hope you enjoyed making a snowman with me today. And if you would, please leave pictures in the comments below of snowmen you've made. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.